Hello and welcome to another video designed to help with revision for the Edexcel GCSE Citizenship Specification. This video is to help with revision for a key topic from Theme A, Living Together in the UK. Today we're going to be revising rights, duties and values that underpin democracy. What are the rights, duties and values that underpin democracy? Most of the content for this part of the specification relies on you having a good understanding of what we mean by human rights. The United Nations was set up in 1945 at the end of World War II. The organisation grew over time and now most countries of the world belong to it. The UN has produced two key statements on human rights. The first was the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948, and the other is the Convention on the Rights of the Child in 1989. The Universal Declaration on Human Rights names 30 fundamental rights that all people should be entitled to. These include the right to freedom and equality, the right to privacy, equality before the law, freedom of expression, freedom of association, and the right to free education. The Convention on the Rights of the Child recognised that children under the age of 18 are more vulnerable, and it names rights that children should be entitled to, including family life and education. What is key to know is that these documents are not the law. Each country gets to make its own decisions on what rights to give its people. So what rights do we have in the UK? There are different types of rights. The first that we're going to discuss are moral rights. Moral rights are not laws or things that are punishable through the court process. These are agreed standards of behaviour. So examples of these might be helping people who are in danger or in need, or not telling lies. The next type of right is legal rights. Rights become legal rights when they're protected by the law. It then becomes the responsibility of all citizens to follow and obey the law. Examples of these can include employment laws, minimum wage and health and safety laws. The age of criminal responsibility in the UK is 10, but it's 8 in Scotland. In the last video on identity we talked about differences between Scotland and England and Wales, and their legal system works differently. Another type of right is political rights. The UK has fundamental principles of democracy which offer all citizens certain rights. It ensures that our democracy contains a range of social and political views, and it allows for the creation of new parties so that all people can be represented. In the UK we have free and fair elections that are held by using a secret ballot. In terms of political rights, in the UK adults have the right to vote in general elections, vote in local elections, vote in referendums, and to stand for election as a councillor or an MP. What is the rule of law? Another key aspect of rights and responsibilities in a democracy is the rule of law. This has three key elements. Equality before the law. This means that all people are treated fairly in the legal system and that no one is above the law, including those who make the law. An obvious recent controversial example of this is the fixed penalty notices issued to MPs following the parties and gatherings held during lockdowns. The next key part of the rule of law is the assumption of innocence until proven guilty. In criminal law, people are to be assumed innocent of crimes until they are convicted of those crimes beyond reasonable doubt. Lastly, it's important that all citizens have access to justice. This means that everyone has the right to use the justice system. This is an important principle, but it's actually the most difficult to uphold as there have been significant cuts in recent years to the systems that would support people financially to help them access the justice system. What happens when rights clash? In 1998, the Human Rights Act was passed in the UK. This makes it clear what rights UK citizens have within the law. However, it is frequently debated on when to limit human rights. It is possible that individuals may have to have their rights limited for the good of the majority. Here are a few examples of this. The press have had their rights limited in recent years following the phone hacking scandal. This will be the subject of another video at a later date. The press hacked voicemails of lots of people, including celebrities, to try and gain details to print in their stories. This has a link with the right to privacy for the individuals involved. Freedom of speech is protected in the UK law. However, this doesn't mean that people can just say anything they like. It's against the law to promote extremist views that could cause discrimination. And in the case of terrorism, there have also been limits. In the UK, police have the ability to hold a suspect for 24 hours before they must charge them or let them go. This can be extended for more serious crimes. However, in cases where suspected terrorism has occurred, the police can hold suspects for up to 14 days. This can lead to a loss of liberty and freedom for those accused, but it's perceived to be in the interest of the public. There have been a number of attempts to increase the length of time a suspect can be held for terrorism to 90 days, but as yet all of these have failed. How might we be assessed on this content? This content could be assessed in multiple choice questions. Key vocab to look out for could include rights, values, beliefs, responsibilities, freedoms. These could all be asking about the content we've revised today. When answering multiple choice questions, you must check the number of boxes that you need to select, then make sure that you mark them clearly. Suggest 2 reasons why the rule of law is necessary in a democratic society. 2 marks. For this question, you need to identify reasons a society needs the rule of law. Acceptable answers to this could include that it ensures that no one person is above the law, as it means the law applies directly to everyone, or it means that the government is accountable in law for its actions. Speech should not always be free. How far do you agree with this view? Give reasons for your opinion showing you've considered different views on the topic. 15 marks. This is a high mark question and it requires you to argue both for and against the statement. It's worth bearing in mind that you should take a few minutes to plan your answer before you begin writing. This will help you decide whether you're for or against the statement. Arguments that you could include that are for the statement are: allowing total free speech would give some people the opportunity to use this to promote radical or extreme ideas. This could lead to discrimination that would go against the human rights of those being persecuted. This would mean that to protect the rights of the many, they may have to limit the rights of the few. Arguments that could go against this statement could be: freedom of speech is a human right that all people are entitled to. Furthermore, determining what constitute extreme ideas can be problematic as society's values will change over time. So in summary, you should now be able to answer some of the questions below. What are the rights and values that uphold democracy? What responsibilities do all citizens have to support democracy? What is the rule of law? And when is it appropriate to limit rights? Thank you for watching this video today, and I hope that it's been useful in helping you revise the content on rights, duties and values that underpin democracy. See you again soon for some more citizenship Edexcel revision.